How's it going, guys? Sorry about the late upload today. I am crazy busy at the moment and just running around all day long, also trying to stay fit, trying to get back in shape after half a year of crazy work. So yeah, just a lot of things that had to wait are not being done. So let's look at the market nonetheless. We are bouncing a little bit. Really nice with the levels. Those are my levels actually. Let me bring in ATG's level here. They work very well as well. And let's see what we have. So what I'm thinking is if we open the regular session over the lower cult, then this might have been it with the sell-off. But if we stay below this lower cult, I think we might not be done yet with this sell-off because we have now broken this trend line and we are we see like we have quite a bit way to go. And let me bring up the Fibonacci's as well again. So we still have like that 3200 target and the 3190 as well. I'm not sure why this is different. I might have drawn it from the weeklies yesterday, but anyway. So yeah, I think we have still a little bit of room to go if this wants to go. So yeah, just looking at the bonds as well. They have sold off a little bit, which is okay. Like that's something you probably want to see as well. If something breaks above that or upper cut, just like here, breaks above, higher, retraces a bit, then heads back up. So we're also right into those previous highs here. So there's definitely, uh, an area of resistance here that this might need to take a breather before it can keep going. But to me, the bonds are still like quite bullish. Gold, the same thing. Like this is completely parabolic here, and this needs like a bit of a correction as well. If whether it's going to be something like this again or whether it's just going to be like in 2 3 days enough, that I don't know. What I've done, like I am long-term long in NG. Come on, NG. So what I've done here, because I'm like my average is like down here in the 720s actually. So what I've done here today, before I went to sleep here, I sold a few calls, a few 10 calls against my stop position, because I feel like perhaps this, like might consolidate. It's the March expiration, and why not collect a little bit of premium in like a covered call kind of style trade while this is resetting. So that's like just a quick look at the indices. Now let's look at some stocks. Google. See, this looks really bearish to me. Breaks under, opens here, tests the lower celt and fails and closes red. Opens here, tests, fails, closes red, and it held underneath, like a fair bit of support here. It's just right at that support. So depending on like what the market does in the hours until we open. Let's see what we're doing actually right now because I have a short on, just a small like short. Yeah, it's still it's hanging in there, trying to make lower highs, holding the VWAP. So like, depending on where we open, this could definitely have like another leg down. Um, like perhaps into that 1400 level. That would be a nice target, yeah, for this Google. But it looks quite bearish to me, at least for the next few days. Autodesk, I went short into this spike in the morning, which was, kind of, it looks similar to Google. But I was watching this one, I wasn't watching Google. So it spikes into the lower Celt after gapping down, and it spikes into that Fibonacci level. So to me, that was, like a short entry. And it didn't work just yet, but I am still fairly confident in this, especially under 193.50, 194 in that area. I think that could be, oh look, that's actually exactly the support here where it tried and failed. Um, so underneath that, I think I could see a move into the 190. Lockheed Martin. That one. Um, I didn't trade this, but this, like everything popped up on the lower Celt scanner today because everything is breaking the lower Celts today. I don't like this candle at all. Like it spikes up and then fails and closes red, and we had like quite a bit of support here. Tested that support perfectly actually and failed. So now we are dealing with this kind of level here. Where that was resistance that turns into support now. We break underneath that. I think I could see 415 as the next level if this wants to keep going. Take two. I alerted this one in chat. I hope someone caught it. That was really nice, actually. So in pre-market, it looked like this was going to open underneath the Celt, but then, or in the after hours or overnight, whatever, and pre-market came back up, which was actually quite nice because it allowed me to get an entry up here. I think I took the 150, around 115.80 or something like that. I didn't take it here. I waited for, like the lower high that failed. And on this candle here, that's where I took it. Took a short. Um, just reasoning behind this, we have the moving average crossover. I went over this in the last video, but just to repeat it, moving average crossover. The first 14 test is really nice. Is just good a good short idea, or good it's just a high probability short. And what came on top of that is the Fibonacci level here. So those two resistances were enough for me to take that short. Unfortunately, we didn't close under the lower Celt. I would have preferred that, but I'm still confident that we might get a little bit more downside tomorrow. So perhaps like this is gonna help this. And also, if you want to add just another thing on top, you can look at this trend line that's now broken as well. So actually, a really nice flag on low volume, and then I mean, volume wasn't even that high here in take two, but just that break is interesting. Next one, LK. This one was toying. Like, luckily, like I remember I told you guys I got long somewhere in here, or at the end of the day here, I think. I sold most of it in here. I sold more when we sold off here, and now this actually looks bearish. Gapped underneath the middle Celt, tried and failed back below. So target here. It's far away in my opinion, but the target could absolutely be that 3250 kind of level, the lower Celt, which would also kind of coincide with the resistance that we have, or like support now that we have here. If I could freaking select the tool in this area, just with like okay is the Starbucks of China, right? So with China not like being able to recover from the Corona stuff just yet, it seems um, this could definitely be in the cards. To be honest, speaking of Corona, like I am still of the opinion that, and I mentioned that in chat today, that sell-off today was also a symptom of Bernie winning Nevada, and apparently it was like a landslide or something like that, quite decisive. So if Bernie wins the nomination, I think we are in for another drop. That might be the actual proper drop then. So I think that was likely a reaction to that as well. But in any way, like we're back underneath, like those levels that I pointed out, and there's a bit of air here now, at least until 34 or 34.50 at least. So um, if the market stays weak, this might be a good short. I'm always going to say if the market stays weak, because that's just when the market sells off, everything gets correlated, and I'm not going to trade anything without looking at the market. Amazon, that's another short I took today into that spike, um, because we like the reasoning behind this is gap under lower Celt, middle Celt, um, and underneath that the 61.8 Fibonacci level here, and what I hope for tomorrow is a break of that 2000 level. It's quite strong though. So I went to bed somewhere here and I was, oh yeah, awesome. I came back, got back up somewhere here and like, oh god damn it. But it still didn't manage to close above any, like significant indicator support. The only spot where it, like held support is the whole number, which is also the gap up level here from earnings. So if that breaks, we could definitely see more downside, lower Celt, or perhaps even more. My target for this would be that lower Celt. Yeah. Teva, again, fairly unimpressed compared to other stocks. Um, I'm not sure what there must have been some news or something in here, but other than that, like we are under the under the upper Celt here, but we held the 14, just like we held here, and perhaps like this might like as long as the market stays weak, this might not go just yet, but as the market recovers, this is very interesting to me for that next leg up into at 1460 kind of 15 level. Next one, I hope you guys remember that I pointed this one out. I think we are getting an opportunity here now to buy into this Stitch Fix once the sell-off is over. This is like that first pullback into the 14 after the crossover. So watch for a 14 MA test, which might perhaps also coincide with like the upper Celt here. So watch out for that for a long entry. That's definitely something to be on watch for. McDonald's is the last one. Really nice recovery, filled the gap straight away. Just wanted to see, or visualize to you guys how strong stocks look and how weak stocks look relative to the market. So we look at what the market did, right? Sold off like 3% move or what, 3.5%, something like that. And then we look at McDonald's, that is actually like a mega cap, like one of the largest companies, big part of the US economy, and does almost the exact opposite. I mean, it gaps down, but then it does almost exactly the opposite. So that I find interesting, just in terms of relative strength when you look at Google, for example, which is like a mega cap company as well, and could not find any legs whatsoever. So technology versus is that consumer goods, or I'm not sure what you call that. Um, there's definitely like that kind of safe haven um, uh, mentality visible in this one. But just I'm not sure if I'm going to trade this right here. If we get like a retest of the 30, for example, or perhaps even the 210 level here, um, this week, I would be inclined to take a longer term long, um, just like to get into this for a move back into the highs. Definitely, like the relative strength in this one, I found very impressive. All right, guys, that's it from me. I'm gonna go and have dinner now with my lady, um, and I'll see you at the open, I guess. By the way, as always, if you're not subscribed and you like what we do, please subscribe. Um, Join us in the Discord chat. If you're not already joined, please like the video. Please hit the notification bell. Um, we are really like now we are starting to move. Like we are putting together the curriculums. We are putting together the lessons that we want to put up for you guys. Everything's going to be free. It's going to be a lot of amazing content so that everyone is going to be up to speed as soon as they join the room. It's going to be really like I'm really excited about all the things that are moving right now. So by the end of the month or something like that, we will likely have like the first materials ready for you guys. End of March, not end of February. You might have the first materials ready for you guys. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'll see you at the open, guys, and have a good one.